Hey everyone, Joe Hentges here, and in this technical analysis of the stock market video, and we're going to take a look at the Dow on a daily and weekly basis. We'll check in on the Nasdaq also, and then several ETFs, the Semiconductors, the homebuilders, and the Biotech, the Nasdaq Biotech. So stay tuned. All right, let's start off here with the Dow. The Dow was down 131 points on Friday, so here's the daily picture. It's really interesting how for like 8 days we hugged this trend line in here, and it seems to have held. We started to break through it here, just really couldn't do it. And it's held, and we get this 2-day rally Wednesday, Thursday, post-Federal Reserve meeting. And now we get this pullback. This is about 61.8% of this entire move here, the 2-day move. And it didn't close below the 10, but I'm really watching this. A couple of things that went on. We had this gap right here. This gap got closed by the activity on Thursday. Well, then Thursday's activity created another gap that got closed on Friday. So the trend, the short-term trend is still down with the 10 below the 21. The 21's broken below the 55. So indicating the intermediate trend may be rolling over. But of course, the price action is what's really important in here. Is this going to continue to pull down? If this starts to get below this 10-day moving average and we get a couple closes and we continue to break lows and break this trend line, watch out, because this thing could break down very quickly. I'm just, you know, the fact that this pullback right here went below this point here, change the whole scenario in terms of what we are looking at on the Dow Industrials. Let's take a look at it on a weekly basis. Here's the picture on the weekly chart, and I think there's a pretty good chance that what this is doing, or let's put it this way, there's a high probability of what the Dow Industrials are doing on a weekly basis is an ending diagonal, and that we've already completed it. Diagonals have 3 waves, a series of 3 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one, and this was a throw over the top of that of the end of the diagonal here, which happens many times. It doesn't have to happen. There's no rule, but a lot of times it does happen. So that's what I'm watching for. But if this truly is an ending diagonal on the Dow, this is going to continue to break down. Now look what happened during the week here on this last week. You know, we had this big range and we really closed right about in the middle of it. Okay, so not a super bullish looking candle to me. You know, we did expand a little bit, got above the the prior week's high, but then we just couldn't hold it and we sold back off. So this is going to be interesting to see. Do we hold the lows? Do we break that trend line like I just talked about in the previous chart? Now the Nasdaq has been a lot stronger. But here's the deal in the Nasdaq. This one did not, this stayed where 4 stayed above 1. So the wave count in terms of counting 5 waves up is still intact. But the interesting thing about this now, though, is that I believe we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 can never be the shortest of the impulse, the motive waves. Okay, so wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5. 3 can never be the shortest. Well, right now, 1's longer than 3. So that means that this 5th wave is going to be shorter than 3. Okay? So that's one thing we know for sure. So now the real question is, what's the wave structure and how much further is this really going to push? Looking at channel lines in here, parallel lines connecting the low of 2 and 4, projecting from the top of 3, it could go as high as up here into the 56 to 5,700, depending on how fast it moves, if it gets that far. But honestly, this could end at any time. And you could almost even make the case there's 5 little waves in here right now. The interesting thing when you look at this, boy, that's not good. It's not what I was looking for. Here's what I'm looking for, trying to get to my indicators here. We are getting, we're showing divergence, negative divergence, on the RSI. DI plus, the blue line, is not confirming the move higher. The demand index, it is between here and here, but between these points over here, this top of 3, it's not confirming it either. So you know, that's creating a high degree of suspicion that this thing is either about to end or getting very close to ending in here. So continue to watch that. So given the dynamic we got with the Nasdaq, the fact that the Dow is not looking that strong right now, I think we need to, you know, be on alert for a change in the whole scenario here. Now, when we look at the semiconductors have been very, very strong. Now, I was looking for 5 intermediate waves up here also in a 5th and final primary wave. Now, I do believe we've gotten 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got this 4th pullback. So very much like the semiconductors, we're in this 5th wave and we're doing the same thing. Now, we could, let's just go ahead and do the exact same thing that I just did with the Nasdaq. And yeah, it's cutting across this point, but we're making it only from the low of the intermediate wave 2. So we create a parallel line and project out from the top of 3, which is right in here. And so here's a potential scenario here for if SMH continues to push higher for possible ending points right up into here if it stays in that channel. All right, that's semiconductors. Home builders. Home builders are not acting nearly as strong. I've talked about this before. Matter of fact, it kind of reminds you of the Dow Industrials in terms of down here hugging this trend line, barely getting off of it, honestly. And now we're staying, I think we closed back below the 10 in here, 34.44. We're right on the 10. Okay, so not a super strong picture on the home builders at all. I mean, where was last Saturday? Right, so this is a week ago in terms of Friday, right? 23rd, yes, Friday the 16th. So we had an up week in here, but it's not a super bullish looking picture to me right now. Okay, and then the last one we're going to take a look at is the Nasdaq Biotech. I talked about this resistance line up here before. We continue to press up. We had a short-term trend positive. And the intermediate is slightly positive in here and it's continued to push up into here. Now it seems to be struggling with this resistance line, okay? And we closed just slightly above it, but this looks like a potential reversal day. And I say potential because it's not confirmed until we get some follow through. We get a close below this low and there's a decent chance that this thing will then sell on off after that. And when you look at the divergence here between this point and here, we're starting to see it on the RSI. We see it definitely on the blue line on the DI plus on the directional indicator. And then the demand index is showing it also in here. So that, you know, those kind of signals coming off the indicators combined with where this is hitting resistance and a reversal point in here, a reversal bar, we need to be on the alert for this thing pulling back, especially if we get a close below this low, Friday's low. All right, that's the picture for today. If you're watching this anywhere else but my website, you can head on over to the website. By the way, if you head on over to the website, here's the post that's out today. Is the chart story clear or confusing? And I talk about that and looking at it and some different things related to trading psychology and technical analysis. So I think it'd be great for you to head on over there, check that out. I think you'll find it beneficial. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next video.